That's why he, I guess, thinks he can carbon tax those farmers without taxing the food. And then you have his friend, the Maserati Marxist over there.
The parliamentary chamber was unusually tense that day, the air thick with anticipation. All eyes were on Pierre Poilievre, the conservative leader, who had become notorious for his relentless takedowns of political opponents. Across the aisle sat Jagmeet Singh, the embattled NDP leader, known for his impassioned rhetoric about social justice and equality. But today, Singh's carefully crafted image was under siege. It all began with an accusation that had set social media ablaze. Singh, the self-proclaimed champion of the working class, owned a sleek Maserati, an Italian sports car that symbolized wealth and excess. The revelation ignited a firestorm of criticism, with many Canadians questioning how a man who claimed to understand their struggles could justify owning a car worth more than many made in a year. Singh scrambled to explain, dismissing the car as a rare indulgence, a reward for his hard work. But his defenses fell flat. To his critics, the Maserati became a symbol of hypocrisy, a glaring contradiction to his message of solidarity with the working class. Poilievre seized the opportunity like a shark smelling blood in the water. In Parliament, he unleashed a scathing attack, dubbing Singh the Maserati Marxist. His voice echoed through the chamber as he painted a vivid picture of Singh's lifestyle: designer suits, luxury accessories, and, of course, the infamous car, all while Canadians struggled with rising costs and economic uncertainty. Singh tried to push back, redirecting the conversation to policy issues and blaming systemic inequality for Canada's woes. But Poilievre wasn't letting him off the hook. Each time Singh spoke, Poilievre countered with biting remarks, hammering home the disconnect between Singh's rhetoric and reality. The clash grew increasingly heated. MPs from both sides joined the fray, their voices rising in a cacophony of accusations and defenses. The Speaker of the House struggled to restore order, but the momentum was unstoppable. Then came Poilievre's knockout blow. He described, in excruciating detail, the stark contrast between Singh's luxurious lifestyle and the everyday struggles of Canadians. How can someone who owns a car worth more than an average Canadian's annual salary claim to represent the working class? Poilievre asked, his voice cutting through the chaos like a knife. For a moment, the chamber fell silent. Singh, usually composed and eloquent, appeared visibly shaken. He attempted to respond, but his words lacked conviction. The damage was done. The fallout was immediate. Across Canada, citizens debated the revelations, with many expressing disillusionment and anger. Social media exploded with hashtags, memes, and commentary about the Maserati Marxist. Singh's approval ratings plummeted, and even his staunchest supporters began to question his authenticity. Yet, the controversy didn't end there. As the Maserati scandal began to fade, Poilievre struck again. This time, he exposed Singh's affinity for designer suits, wardrobe choices that cost more than most Canadians' monthly rent. The narrative of hypocrisy deepened, and the attacks only intensified. By the time Singh rose to address Parliament again, the damage was irreparable. His once rising star in Canadian politics had dimmed, and his carefully curated image lay in tatters. For Poilievre, it was a decisive victory. For Singh, it was a harsh reminder that in politics, even the smallest cracks in one's image can shatter an entire foundation. As the dust settled, Canadians were left to reflect on the clash they had witnessed. The political landscape had shifted, and the lingering question remained: how could their leaders truly represent them if their lives were so far removed from those of the people they claimed to serve? The aftermath of the parliamentary showdown rippled far beyond Ottawa. News outlets dissected every moment of the heated exchange, replaying clips of Poilievre's fiery accusations and Singh's faltering responses. Editorials questioned whether Singh's leadership could survive such a public unraveling, while commentators debated whether Poilievre's relentless tactics were brilliant strategy or ruthless opportunism. For Singh, the days that followed were a test of resilience. His team scrambled to repair the damage, rolling out interviews, press releases, and carefully crafted public appearances aimed at regaining trust. Singh doubled down on his message of fighting for the working class, emphasizing policies to address housing affordability, corporate greed, and rising costs of living. But the Maserati and the designer suits continued to haunt him, casting a long shadow over his words. The nickname Maserati Marxist refused to fade. It became a rallying cry for Poilievre's supporters, who plastered it across social media and banners at rallies. Memes depicting Singh driving a Maserati while wearing a tailored suit flooded the internet, reinforcing the image of a leader disconnected from the struggles of ordinary Canadians. Meanwhile, Poilievre's star rose. His no-holds-barred approach energized his base, who saw him as a champion of accountability and authenticity. To them, he was the voice of frustrated Canadians tired of political elites who seemed out of touch with reality. Yet, critics accused him of resorting to cheap attacks, arguing that focusing on Singh's lifestyle detracted from meaningful policy debates. Despite the criticism, Poilievre pressed on, using the controversy to hammer home his broader message. The Liberals and the NDP, he argued, were two sides of the same coin, leaders who claimed to represent the people while living lives of privilege. His speeches resonated with Canadians who were struggling to make ends meet and increasingly skeptical of the political establishment. As Singh's approval ratings continued to dip, pressure mounted from within his own party. Some NDP members privately questioned whether he could effectively lead them into the next election. Rumors of dissent began to circulate, with whispers of potential challengers eyeing the leadership role. But Singh wasn't ready to give up. In a defiant move, he embarked on a cross-country tour, meeting with Canadians face-to-face in an effort to rebuild his image. From small-town community centers to bustling urban markets, he listened to their concerns and shared his vision for a more equitable Canada. The tour had moments of success, with some voters appreciating his willingness to confront the controversy head-on. Still, the damage was undeniable. The Maserati scandal had become a defining moment in Singh's career, a moment that revealed both the fragility of political images and the power of perception in shaping public opinion. As the next election loomed on the horizon, the stakes for all parties grew higher. Poilievre, emboldened by his victories, prepared to take his message of change to a broader audience. Singh, wounded but not defeated, fought to reclaim his narrative and prove that his commitment to social justice was more than just rhetoric. For Canadians, the saga was a stark reminder of the complex, often messy reality of politics. It wasn't just about policies and platforms, it was about trust, authenticity, and the ever-present tension between words and actions. The road ahead was uncertain, but one thing was clear. The political landscape in Canada had been irreversibly altered, and the echoes of the Maserati controversy would linger long after the final vote was cast.